I just had one of the most spiritual experiences of my life. You ever know you're in the right place at the right time doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing? So I know that God orchestrated what just happened in the last hour. I left work early. I got off early. I decided to skip lunch. And I decided to stop at a dollar store on my way home in a neighborhood I don't normally stop at because my dog chewed up the leash. Anyway, I went in there and as I was getting my cart, I heard this girl talk to another lady. And she's like, I'm starving. I gotta find some food. All I ate yesterday was a burrito. We don't have any food. And right then, I knew I needed to talk to her and find out. And so she walked by me and I got my cart and I felt it in my bones. I felt it in my body. Talk to her. And so I said, why haven't you eaten? What's going on? And I ended up getting her story, and she shared so much. We literally stood in the dollar store for almost an hour just talking, crying. Her brother just died. She's comes from a rough environment, from foster care. Her mom abandoned her, her dad. They have addiction problems. She's 19 years old, and she needed somebody to talk, and she needed some food. And anyway, as we talked, I knew what I needed to ask her, and I knew what I needed to tell her. And I said, I need you to promise me right now that you're not going to hurt yourself. And she started crying her eyes out. And she said, how do you know I was going to hurt myself? She said, I was so suicidal last night. I've struggled with harming myself my whole life and cutting. She goes, and last night I just thought about ending it all. And I thought about it today too. And I made her promise me that she wouldn't hurt herself. And I know that her brother, who just died of drug overdose, wanted me to be there and wanted me to talk to her and wanted me to make her promise that she wouldn't kill herself and help her get the food that she needed so that she could live and take care of her little niece. Anyway, the spirit was so strong. And she looked at me in my eyes and she goes, I recognize you. And I said, I recognize you too. And I'm supposed to be here right now. And you're supposed to promise me that you won't hurt yourself. And that you won't do drugs. And that you're going to eat and take care of yourself. We both cried. I'm not sharing this to be like, oh, look at me. I'm sharing this because there's so many people out there that need to talk to you, that need to feel loved, that need to feel important. And God wants us to talk to them, to be the mouth and his hands and his heart, to let them know that they're not alone, that they can get through this, and that they're worth loving, and that they're a son or daughter of God. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm being such an emotional wreck. But this story touched my heart, and I knew for certain I was sent to the store at this very time because I needed to be there for this girl. And I knew the things I needed to say that were not my words, but that she needed to hear. It was an amazing experience, and I will pray for her, and I ask that you guys all pray and look around. Listen, when somebody says something, if you feel prompted, act on it. That's all.